Today we're talking about why you as an INFJ are probably slower than the average person and why you really shouldn't care. There has not been one thing in my life that I have started where I wasn't slower than the people around me. Not one single thing. The thing is that I very soon recognized that this is actually an advantage. This isn't something that I should rush. This isn't something that should be in my way, but it actually helped me to create a learning style that is going to be of great benefit for myself. And this isn't something that only applies to me. I've been an INFJ Life Coach for the last 7 to 8 years, and this is something that we work on constantly in one-on-one coaching, in the boot camp, and it's something that works every single time. The problem is that most INFJs are so paralyzed by the fact that they feel slow, that they feel not good enough, that they're not willing to start at all. But once you recognize that there is a strategy behind it, that there is a very particular learning style that is just part of who we are, that once we tap into it, we can make this thing rock our world. We can catapult ourselves to a level that maybe most people are not going to be able to, and that would actually get us further than we would expect. But it can only happen if we remove that fear. So before we get started, remember to download the 5 pillars to an INFJ Epic Life poster. It will help you to push forward in the right areas of your life. And if you want to take it to the next level and say, I'm ready to take charge of my life, create that INFJ Epic Life now, then sign up for the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp waiting list. The next life round is just around the corner. It's like a couple more weeks, so make sure you're on that list and you're ready to go, because then you don't miss on the early bird price and we don't have late admissions, so make sure you're not skipping this. All the information you find in the link in the description. I've actually done videos on this, but it's been years, and this is a topic I find so important, and for all of the new INFJs here, and even for the people who have heard this is something worth revisiting. We have an exponential learning curve, period. That's the way the INFJ mind works. It's a spider web. It really is something that is a holistic way of understanding a situation, and if we allow ourselves to follow that path, we actually open ourselves up to a much bigger game plan than we could ever do otherwise. So if you would imagine yourself being somebody who learns like this, right? And the people next to you go like this, right? They're moving on faster than you, and you're still at the slow pace down here. You're barely making any progress. What are you thinking? The first thought is, I am too slow, I should be faster, I'm not good enough. Maybe it's also because I'm lazy, I'm procrastinating, and that whole talk makes us stop. But if you allow yourself once to say, I'm not doing this for the result, I'm doing this for improving myself, before you know it, you see that there's a reason behind this madness. There's reason behind this way of thinking. You're not being slow because there's something wrong with you. You're being slow because you're trying to understand the concept. You're trying to understand it holistically and the patterns around it. Remember, you're an INFJ. Your first function is introverted intuition. And in combination with your introverted thinking, you're creating a system that is continuously being altered with every new information you're given. So you enter a new field, you try to understand what was going on, and you try to find those patterns. You're not memorizing that 1 + 2 is 3, you're understanding how to add. You're understanding the system behind it. And every single time you do something in that regard, you will always be slower than the person who memorizes 1 + 2 = 3. That is something that you just have to understand. It's something that you have to accept. And once you do, you really lose that fear. Because for me, at a very young age, I was constantly put in situations where I was last. I, for example, started learning to swim when I was 6 or 7, and I was in a group with 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds. Because I'm personally an immigrant. I came to Germany when I was 4 years old from Bulgaria. And so my parents tried to manage everything. But of course, some things they just slip because that's not what was our main focus. So I was really slow to a lot of things, and I was late. I remember going to kindergarten and being so excited because we could bring our bikes And I was the only one with training wheels. And I didn't even understand that. That was the first moment I recognized, oh, everybody else around me already knows how to bike. That's something I had to learn. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I had to go in the class with the 3 or 4-year-olds. Not something that is good for your ego, not even at that age. But because I was pushed into so many situations at a young age where I was already behind and I already felt like, okay, that's just how I'm going to be, all I could focus on was how can I improve myself? And the truth was, I actually got better than absolutely everybody around me. I was not only able to surpass the 3 and 4-year-olds, but of course, go to that level where everybody in my age was not in any kind of way faster than me, better than me, any of that. I wasn't like an excellent swimmer. Don't get me wrong. This is not about this. It wasn't because my swimming skills were so good. It was of my INFJ learning style. Because I understood very quickly that I am working with an exponential learning style. And working with so many INFJs throughout the last years, this isn't something that only applies to me. This is something that applies to all of us. So if you're not giving yourself the chance of knowing that, yes, you will be slower than others. Yes, it might look like you're lagging behind, but this is not something that's going to stop you because you already know I have the mental toughness to stand against, adversity. I'm totally good with that. I'm okay with people underestimating me, but I'm also going to push myself forward in a direction of how can I improve myself? How can I build my system more and more? You understand patterns, you understand systems, and these systems are the foundation that you need. If you want to build a high skyscraper, you cannot build a foundation that is only a couple of inches deep, right? You need to create a big hole. You need to create a big foundation that can hold it. And if you do this, of course, it's going to look like you're behind when you and others are at the first level of your house or your building. But when you start building bigger than that, guess what? You're going to have the foundation that's going to help you to build faster, more secure, more rapidly when it comes to the big stuff. Have that exponential learning curve in your mind as the thing that's going to move you forward. If you're not giving yourself the chance, if you're not allowing yourself to say, that's the way I am slower than others, and that's exactly how it should be because I'm gathering for the long-term stuff. I'm not here to create quick results that I can see tomorrow. I'm here to create massive results that I can see in a year. If you apply this, your life path will just blow your mind. Because remember, we're also visionaries. We're people who create long-term goals. That's why I'm always telling you, go get the 5 pillars to an INFJ epic life, because it's all about creating a life that is on your terms. And that won't happen in a day. This isn't about getting recognition from people about what you're doing now, about what you're creating now. It's about creating a life that makes you proud, where you feel like, yeah, I've actually tapped into my potential. I've been able to manifest things that I wasn't even I would be able to. Because those things are the things that make our life exciting, to actually see how far we can take it, where our potential is. And it can only happen if we're not in our own way. We're always the biggest enemy in our life. And the sooner we understand that, the better. And don't tell yourself things like, oh, I'm not slow, or yes, I have just as much energy as everybody else. You might not have. I don't. I see myself in comparison with my friends and so on when it comes to physically being able to push through. I'm probably not going to be the fastest one, but I always say we are INFJs. We don't have to do all the things. We just have to do the right things. Your biggest strength is your vision. Your biggest strength is your conviction towards that vision. And then it's about staying on course and not getting discouraged because things are not happening fast enough. We're not here to sort of play the game. We're here to create the game. We're here to create that INFJ epic life. I so often see INFJs who want to get by living the normal life, how everybody else around them seems to be living it, and are dissatisfied and feel like they're always pushing against the norm, and they feel not accepted, and they feel like they don't fit in, and it makes them sad and uncomfortable and depressed. And Yeah, I've been there. I know this feeling. But that's why I can also tell you, if you want to live a successful, fulfilling life that is on purpose and that helps you grow and gets you excited about life, you gotta go that road that is making more out of your life than the average person. You have a different way of thinking. So apply this to your life. Know that your learning style and your learning curve is exponential. It's going to take time, but it's not going to take 15 years. We're talking about you seeing results in a short period of time if you allow yourself to not get discouraged by the fact that people around you are faster. I can give you dozens more examples out of my life just from the top of my head. When I learned how to snowboard, when I was in college, like all of these things, it was constantly the people around me were faster than me. And with time, I just knew that that's the way it's supposed to be, that this is the way that's going to make myself better. That's the way that's going to allow myself to make the best out of the capacity and the capabilities that I have, right? We cannot compare ourselves to everybody because there are always people who are smarter than us, who are more talented than us, who are, physically more able to do things. But if you want to make the best out of your abilities, then it's about time that you accept that you're slow, that this is not something to be embarrassed about, but to know that it comes with its benefits. And that if you allow yourself to be slow, to take it at your own pace, and stay consistent with it, that you're going to get great results out of it. That it's not just about some short-term results, but that it's about long-term goals that you get to reach. It's going to make a huge difference. So instead of telling yourself, I'm not lazy, I'm not slow, in many cases when we tell ourselves this, we completely just, push this thought away, because if it's too different than what we actually think, we cannot accept it. That's why it's so important to really work with how we feel at that moment. If we actually feel we're slow, if we're actually feeling like we're lazy, we have to work with that. And we just have to take away the negative emotion attached to it. Meaning, yes, I'm lazy. Yes, I'm slow. And because I'm lazy and slow, I can actually create great results. Because these two things are going to make sure that I don't rush, that I'm not going towards, memorizing 1 + 2 = 3, but I actually learn how to add. And that will help me when it comes to being able to, add hundreds of numbers a day. Again, this is just a random example. When others wouldn't be able to do that because they would still work with the memorizing strategy, right? So this is your INFJ strength, the exponential learning curve. Know it's slow at first, and it's going to snowball the longer you stay with it. So don't take it as something that is hindering you. This could be your biggest asset. Just stay consistent, stay on course, and you will see amazing results. Remember, if you want some more guidelines on what areas to push forward, then download the free poster. And if you say, let's take it to the next level, then join the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp waiting list. All the information you find below. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video Why the INFJ's Intelligence Gets Constantly Underestimated.